You have done it 1,000 times without thinking twice. You take the steak out of the refrigerator, grind black pepper over both sides, and lay it on the hot grill. Or you season raw pork belly with pepper before it hits the cast iron pan. This habit, practiced by nearly everyone who cooks meat, is silently accelerating the formation of compounds that international cancer research authorities have classified as probable and possible human carcinogens. Today I am going to explain exactly what is happening at a chemical level. Why black pepper specifically makes the situation worse when added before cooking, and then show you how to keep all of the extraordinary health benefits of black pepper fully intact simply by changing when you add it. Let us begin with the central compound. You need to understand heterocyclic amines, abbreviated as HCAs. When muscle meat or fish is cooked at high temperatures, the amino acids, creatine, and sugars naturally present in the flesh react through a process related to the Maillard reaction and produce HCAs as byproducts. These are not trace amounts. Research published in peer-reviewed journals confirms that HCA formation escalates dramatically with temperature. Cooking at 250 degrees Celsius versus 200 degrees Celsius multiplies HCA production several times over, and approaching 300 degrees causes an exponential increase at the temperatures reached by a hot grill or cast iron pan. This reaction is proceeding continuously. International cancer research authorities have classified multiple HCAs as Group 2A, probable human carcinogens, and Group 2B, possible human carcinogens, with clear evidence that they induce DNA mutations. Studies have identified HCAs as risk factors for colorectal cancer, stomach cancer, breast cancer, liver cancer, and reproductive cancers through excessive long-term exposure. Alongside HCAs, a second group of carcinogens, called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, forms when fat and juices drip from meat onto a flame or hot surface, and the resulting smoke coats the meat. PAHs are also classified as carcinogens, and are associated with increased risk of prostate, breast, and colorectal cancers in research literature. Now here is the critical question. What exactly does black pepper do in this process? Black pepper contains piperine, one of the most studied naturally occurring alkaloids in food science. At room temperature and in food consumed without cooking, piperine is extraordinarily beneficial. A landmark study found that piperine increases the bioavailability of curcumin from turmeric by as much as 2,000%, by inhibiting the enzymes that break it down in the liver and intestine. Clinical research has also confirmed that piperine enhances the absorption of beta-carotene, selenium, vitamin B, and other nutrients. It possesses potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, has shown neuroprotective effects in multiple studies, helps regulate blood sugar, and promotes fat metabolism. The problem is that piperine is thermally unstable. Research has established that piperine begins to degrade at temperatures above 50 degrees Celsius, and the rate of degradation accelerates with both time and temperature. When black pepper is applied to raw meat before cooking, two things happen simultaneously. First, the piperine is destroyed by the extreme heat of the grill or pan, so you lose every health benefit it would otherwise provide. Second, and more critically, the degraded chemical products of piperine enter a high-temperature environment, already rich in amino acids, creatine, and sugars, providing additional reactive compounds that can participate in and accelerate the HCA-forming reactions. Research has confirmed that applying pepper to raw meat before high-temperature cooking promotes carcinogen formation, alongside the protein denaturation process. When the same meat is cooked first and pepper is added afterward, piperine is fully preserved and delivers its complete range of antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. The solution is straightforward and takes no extra effort. Simply move the pepper from before cooking to after cooking. Once the meat comes off the heat and lands on the plate, grind fresh black pepper generously over it. Use a pepper grinder rather than pre-ground pepper whenever possible. Piperine is also vulnerable to oxidative degradation when exposed to air, meaning freshly ground pepper retains far higher piperine content than pepper that has been sitting pre-ground in a shaker. For the before cooking stage, Replace pepper with an antioxidant-rich marinade instead. Research has shown that marinating meat in herb-based mixtures before grilling reduces HCA formation by as much as 92 to 99%. A marinade containing rosemary and thyme reduced HCA levels by 87% in a controlled study. A Caribbean-style herb mixture reduced total HCA content by 88%. The mechanism is that the dense polyphenols and antioxidants in herbs intercept the reactive intermediate compounds involved in HCA formation before they can complete the reaction. Here are 3 practical recipes built around this principle. The first is a rosemary and lemon marinade for steak or chicken. Combine 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, 1 fresh rosemary sprig, and 1 thyme sprig. Coat both sides of the meat and refrigerate for at least 30 minutes and up to 8 hours. Before cooking, wipe off the marinade, season with salt only, and grill over medium heat of 150 to 180 degrees. After plating, finish generously with freshly ground black pepper. The second is a soy and ginger marinade for pork. Mix 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1 teaspoon each of minced ginger and garlic, and 2 tablespoons of pear or apple juice. Research suggests ginger's gingerol compound also helps suppress HCA formation. Add no pepper to this marinade. Cook at medium heat, then finish with freshly ground black pepper and sesame seeds on the plate. The third is a post-cook black pepper and olive oil finishing drizzle. Mix 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper with 1 tablespoon of good olive oil and a pinch of coarse salt. Drizzle this over any cooked meat just before eating. The fat in the olive oil enhances piperine absorption into the bloodstream, amplifying every benefit piperine has to offer. 4 safety rules are worth knowing. Always cut off and discard any charred or heavily blackened portions of cooked meat, as these contain the highest concentrations of HCA and PA. If you grill directly over flame, use aluminum foil or a cast iron plate to prevent fat dripping onto the heat source and generating PA-laden smoke. If you eat grilled meat frequently, more than 3 times per week, prioritize eating large quantities of dietary fiber alongside the meat. Fiber has been shown to inhibit the activation of HCAs in the gut. Vegetables like lettuce, broccoli, and cabbage are ideal companions. Finally, do not over-apply pepper to your finished dish if you have acid reflux or a sensitive stomach, since piperine stimulates gastric acid secretion and can aggravate these conditions in excess. Pepper is not the enemy. Used at the right moment, it is one of the most powerful everyday health ingredients available to you. The difference between a harmful habit and a beneficial one is nothing more than timing. Add it before grilling and you lose its benefits, while feeding the carcinogen reaction. Add it after grilling and you preserve everything. That makes black pepper worth eating. One small change, starting with the very next meal you cook, is all it takes. If this video gave you something useful, please like it and share it with someone who grills regularly. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new health video every week. See you in the next one.